Archangel Michael says a quiet alarm has already started ringing inside you and it refuses to be silenced. The smile you keep seeing hides hands that moved pieces against your peace. Tonight a veil lifts and the path of your protection becomes clear and firm. You felt the first sting when a private detail leaked in a way that did not happen by accident. The air around that smiling face felt sweet and heavy, like syrup covering thorns. Your spirit recognized a mismatch between words and weight long before your mind could name it. The truth stands in front of you with steady calm. The person who pretends to celebrate you has been feeding on your softness in secret. You rise now with dignity that does not need any announcement. You owe no one a performance that explains your intuition. You owe yourself safety, clarity, and the right to choose silence over exposure. Your peace is not up for negotiation anymore. Type Amen to get blessing 333. You are not paranoid, you are perceptive. Your body has been tracking the patterns even when you tried to dismiss them as small. That single smile grew louder each time loss or chaos followed your kindness. This is not a story of revenge, it is a story of return to self. You return to your center and you take your name with you. You gather the pieces of your heart and bless them with gentle certainty. You no longer step into rooms where your absence creates relief for your enemies. You no longer explain boundaries to those who profit from your confusion. You carry yourself like a guarded flame that refuses to be wasted. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Your silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. Your distance is not cruelty, it is a door that protects your future. Your discernment is not fear, it is a sword made of light. Archangel Michael says the cord that kept looping you back to pain is ready to be cut clean. The blade is truth, and the handle is your consent. You say yes to your own safety, and the bond that drained you loses its power. You will not shout or argue, because your spirit no longer seeks permission to be safe. You will not beg for belief, because your soul no longer hands out discounts on your value. You will not shrink, because your calling requires full height. The season of second chances for the same pattern is finished. The pattern had a mask and a smile, but the pattern is still the pattern. You honor the lesson without keeping the leash. Type Amen to get blessing 555. You will notice a lightness return to ordinary moments. The morning air will feel less crowded. Your own laughter will sound like a promise kept. The person who smiled while causing the storm will be surprised by your quiet exit. You leave no door half open, and you leave no map behind. You choose routes that confusion cannot follow. Your spirit begins to glow at the edges again. The glow is not for display, it is for direction. It points you toward voices that do not shake your ground. You will not rehearse pain in your mind like an old melody. You will rehearse peace, boundaries, and new beginnings. You cradle your future the way a lighthouse cradles a flame during wind. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Your calendar becomes holy when you remove appointments with chaos. Your phone becomes holy when you remove access points for manipulation. Your home becomes holy when you remove the echo of backhanded blessings. This removal is not bitterness. This removal is medicine. This removal is the proof that you believe in your worth. You hold your head steady in places where you felt dizzy before. You speak less and decide more. You choose your part of the story with care and power. The smile that was a mask will not guide your next step. The face behind the mask will not be your weather. Your climate is chosen by your covenant with peace. Type Amen to get blessing 777. You may feel a wave of grief for the version of you that tried to make it work. You honor that version with gratitude and rest. You do not insult your past self for not knowing what you know now. Archangel Michael says you are not late to your deliverance. You are right on time for your real life. You are right on time for doors that open without damaging your hands. The universe responds quickly when you remove what blocks your breath. The first sign arrives as ease in a simple task that felt heavy for weeks. The second sign arrives as a message of kindness from an unexpected direction. You will see repeating numbers that feel like winks from heaven. You will hear a song lyric that touches the exact place that was hurting. You will feel a steady warmth in your chest like sunrise moving in. Type Amen to get blessing 888. You are not obligated to keep sitting at a table that feeds you poison with compliments. You push back your chair and bless your feet with movement. Your exit is your protection and your prophecy. The one who caused the tears will pretend shock at your clarity. The performance will not move you anymore. You select silence, and silence selects you back with strength. Your voice returns in fuller colors once you are out of reach. Your creativity starts breathing again as if it was waiting behind a curtain. Your rest becomes deep and honest. The mirror shows a face that belongs to your destiny. The heaviness leaves your eyes. The spark returns like a loyal friend. Type Amen to get blessing 999. You rebuild your rhythm without the noise that tried to own you. You write things down and watch patterns dissolve under ink. You take small steps that add up to a moved mountain. There is a day very near when you will wake without dread. The morning will feel like an unlocked room. The fear of repeating the old story will be gone. Your kindness remains, but your access is rare. Your generosity remains, but your boundaries are iron. Your smile returns, and this time it does not cost you tears. You will not throw stones, you will plant flags. You will not chase closure, you will practice completion. You will not explain your light, you will simply shine it. Type Amen to get blessing 111. You walk through your space and whisper, peace lives here. You open your windows and let freshness rewrite the air. You arrange your day the way a healer arranges herbs, with intention and quiet joy. There is a person coming who claps when you win even when it does not benefit them. That person is not a mirror of the mask you just removed. That person carries clean hands and a steady gaze. Your discernment recognizes the difference between flattery and fruit. Flattery rushes like a flood and then disappears. Fruit grows, ripens, and remains. You do not hurry your heart. You let goodness prove itself by consistency. You move at the pace of wisdom and relief. Type Amen to get blessing 222. A season of replacement begins. What left your life leaves room for what matches your calling. What once bruised your trust becomes the reason your trust is now wise. You give yourself permission to be selective without apology. You give your time only where joy can drink safely. You give your attention to things that refund your energy. The smile that used to trick you becomes powerless under light. Light is not a mood, light is a method. You apply it to every room, every routine, every relationship. You can stand at a threshold without trembling now. You can say no without shaking. You can say yes without fear. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. Your future hears you choosing it. Your feet start learning new streets. Your calendar begins to feel like a garden. Archangel Michael says your protection plan is simple and strong. Close the door you were afraid to close. Open the window you forgot you had. You remove the badge that once allowed chaos to enter. You revoke the past and end the pattern. You let your peace be your new policy. The one who smiled and harmed learns that access is a gift that expired. Your heart is a treasury with new security. Your spirit is a lighthouse with a keeper who finally stays. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. You carry a quiet power that needs no stage. Your steps sound like agreements with heaven. Your breath carries the scent of endings done well and beginnings done right. The smile that once hit a blade no longer terrifies you. You hold the blade of truth, and you cut away the last thin thread of influence. You seal the cut with love for yourself. You wear your boundaries like velvet, soft to the touch and impossible to tear. You wear your clarity like armor that shines without noise. You wear your joy like a crown that fits at last. The tears that once fell now water your garden. The garden grows with color you have never known before. The harvest arrives without confusion. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. You return the story to the author who writes with mercy. You take your place at the table that was always yours. You bless your past and invite your future to sit down and rest. You feel your pulse even out. You feel your shoulders drop. You feel a lightness that does not ask for permission. Your steps from here are deliberate and bright. You choose rooms where your name is safe and your presence is honored. You choose voices that speak to your growth and not to your undoing. You close this chapter without cruelty. You open the next page without fear. You live the rest of this year like someone who finally remembers their own light. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. You will feel time stretch wider around your choices. Space opens between impulse and response like a doorway held by gentle hands. You walk through that doorway with a steady heart. The old loop tries to sing you back, but your feet remember a new rhythm. Your spine carries dignity like a quiet anthem. Your voice lands softly and still shakes the room. You keep what is precious close to your chest without apology. You let the rest float away like ash after a clean burn. Your tomorrow thanks you for the mercy you showed yourself today. You design small rituals that anchor the day. A glass of water in sunlight becomes a declaration of life. A 5-minute pause between tasks becomes a sanctuary that no one else can enter. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. You will notice signs that match the promise of peace. A blue cup on a counter will catch your eye like a nod from heaven. A single oak tree will feel like a guardian on a familiar road. A bird will linger longer than usual near your window. The timestamp 517 will appear when you need reassurance that you are guided. The soft scent of rain on warm ground will calm a memory that used to sting. Your music will shuffle to a lyric that seems written for your healing. Your breath will sync with the heartbeat of relief until the rhythm feels natural. Your shoulders will finally drop without effort. This is not luck, this is alignment. This is not random, this is a response to your courage. This is not noise, this is your map unfolding in plain view. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. You release the fantasy of convincing anyone who profits from misunderstanding you. You retire from the unpaid job of defending your light to people committed to shade. You give your explanations back to silence and keep your energy. Forgiveness reaches you like warm water, but access remains guarded like a vault. You can bless a person and still remove the key. You can choose peace without reopening doors. You place boundaries where the floor once cracked. You reinforce those lines with daily choices that feel like clear glass. You let transparency replace drama. Healing does not require an audience. Healing requires honesty and the shelter of your own yes. Healing sounds like your name spoken kindly by your own mouth. Type Amen to get blessing 2727. Your money begins to behave like it trusts you. Little savings stack like bricks until a wall of safety stands where fear used to live. Opportunities show up that match your integrity instead of your desperation. A mentor appears with steady steps and clean motives. Their advice feels like cool shade, not a baited hook. You move with diligence and leave rush at the door. You review your subscriptions and reclaim what leaks your strength. You simplify your commitments until your schedule breathes like a living thing. You make room for the work that will carry you forward. Support gathers in quiet ways. A message arrives at the perfect hour. A door opens without you begging or performing. Type Amen to get blessing 3030. Your friendships shift toward those who clap without calculation. You recognize love by the peace it leaves behind. You recognize truth by the fruit it produces over time. Romance returns in a form that does not demand you shrink. The gaze you meet is steady, not hungry for your uncertainty. Words match actions until trust grows like a sunrise, not a sparkler. You share your story slowly and keep your roots deep. You let curiosity earn its access. You savor the learning of a person who is not a storm disguised as shelter. You refuse the rush that used to sabotage your joy. You bless the pace that keeps you safe. You choose clarity over fireworks every single time. Type Amen to get blessing 3232. Your home becomes a sanctuary that mirrors your inner order. You clear a shelf and feel a knot in your chest loosen. You open a window and invite air that erases stale shadows. You place a plant where you once placed worry. You light a candle to honor the day without needing a reason. You tidy a corner and your mind sighs with relief. Small repairs become acts of devotion to your future. A fixed hinge sounds like faith every time it moves. A clean drawer holds more than objects, it holds permission to live lightly. Your bed welcomes sleep like a trusted friend. Your pillow holds dreams that carry guidance without fear. Your morning arrives without the weight you used to mistake for normal. Type Amen to get blessing 3535. Dreams begin to speak in symbols that feel familiar. A key shows up in a hallway of memory and points toward freedom. A door opens onto water and you feel the courage to cross. You keep a notebook within reach of the bed. You write before your waking thoughts crowd the page. You notice how the messages braid into your daylight choices. Your journal becomes a witness to your transformation. The same themes fade while new ones bloom. Your handwriting steadies, and so does your voice. You review what you wrote last month and marvel at your growth. You thank yourself for surviving the training season. You bless yourself for listening when it mattered most. Type Amen to get blessing 3737. Work starts to feel like collaboration with your destiny. The tasks that match your calling wake you up inside. The tasks that drain you shrink as bravery teaches you to say no. You stand taller in rooms that once made you doubt your skill. Your preparation begins to speak before you do. Your excellence becomes quiet advocacy that shifts the atmosphere. Conversations with peers become honest and respectful. Projects land on your desk because your name equals trust. You meet deadlines without sacrificing your peace. You ask your calendar to honor your humanity. You protect rest like you protect earnings. You move your career with precision, not panic. Type Amen to get blessing 4040. Travel whispers to you in a gentle voice. A short trip realigns your senses and refreshes your vision. You return with clarity that makes decisions feel simple. You visit a place where the air tastes like newness. A familiar landmark looks different because you are different. You smile at a stranger and feel no need to perform. You bring back a small token that symbolizes your season. The token sits on your desk and quietly reminds you that you are safe to expand. Expansion does not require chaos, only consent. You remember that your life belongs to you. You refuse to outsource your direction ever again. You claim your path with both hands and a calm heart. Type Amen to get blessing 4242. Family dynamics adjust as you hold firm to peace. Old triggers lose their magnets when you decline the invitation to repeat the script. You protect yourself without wounding others. You set visiting hours for your own energy. You honor your limits the way a gate honors a garden. Access becomes a measured gift, not an automatic setting. You listen for love beneath the noise, and you respond only to love. You step away from conversations that trade on guilt. You return when mutual respect returns. Your presence teaches people how to handle your heart. Your boundaries teach people how to treat your time. Your consistency teaches people that you mean what you say. Type Amen to get blessing 4545. Your health begins to glow from the inside out. Water tastes like kindness each time you drink it. Sleep lands like a promise kept. You stretch your body and thank it for carrying you this far. You walk in quiet places and let your breath find a gentle rhythm. Your pulse steadies as if hearing a lullaby you forgot you knew. Food becomes fuel and celebration, not punishment or distraction. Movement becomes conversation with your strength. Rest becomes a necessary ceremony in your day. You inhabit your body with gratitude instead of suspicion. You stand in the mirror and recognize a survivor becoming a builder. You smile and it costs you nothing. Type Amen to get blessing 4747. You celebrate small wins with reverence. A completed task gets a nod of honor. A clear email becomes a demonstration of order. You let joy be present tense. You allow laughter to live in your rooms without permission slips. You practice delight like a craft. Music returns to your evenings. You hum the new melody of your life while washing dishes. You let normal be holy without making it heavy. You keep the light on for yourself. You keep the door open for peace. You keep the kettle ready for quiet company. Type Amen to get blessing 50-50. You finish what you start with a softness that hides steel. Loose ends do not rule your head anymore. You tie them gently and let completion comfort you. You archive old messages that held you hostage. The silence that follows feels like clean sky after rain. Your phone no longer carries the echo of chaos. You return borrowed energy to where it belongs. You take back your hours from the places that wasted them. You move on without ceremony and without looking back. Completion becomes your new favorite song. It plays in the background of every decision. It keeps you from reopening chapters that already taught their lesson. Type Amen to get blessing 52-52. Your identity settles into your bones like a home finally furnished. You speak your name without shrinking it. You wear your life with the ease of someone who chose it. You practice being unbothered by performances around you. You let dramatics exhaust themselves far from your door. You refuse to audition for parts that insult your peace. Your inner circle shrinks and strengthens. Every seat is filled by someone who understands the value of quiet loyalty. Every handshake holds honesty without needles. You become the kind of person you once needed. You become the keeper of your own weather. You become the one who chooses sunlight on purpose. Type Amen to get blessing 55-55. The season that once hurt you now bows as you pass. You do not collect trophies from pain, you collect wisdom. You do not rehearse old scenes, you invest in new scripts. A calm wealth moves toward you like a tide that does not end. It arrives as opportunities that match your patience and your skill. It anchors as choices that keep your peace intact. Love that. You close your day with gratitude and clean breath. You open your morning with intention and clear light. You walk forward with the quiet certainty of someone who will not be fooled by a mask again. Type Amen to get blessing 60-60. Your name carries the scent of restoration now. The rooms you enter feel safer because your boundaries come with you. The conversations you have leave people calmer than they were before. You build routines that scale your peace. A weekly review keeps your path clear. A monthly reset keeps your vision honest. You write a letter to the version of you that survived the smiling storm. You thank them for not surrendering your spirit. You promise to protect what they protected. You allow joy to take up permanent residence. You allow momentum to move you without frenzy. You allow goodness to be simple and real. Type Amen to get blessing 61-61. The mask that once charmed you becomes obvious even from a distance. You can see the edges where it fails to fit. You can hear the hollowness within the compliment. Your discernment does not make you hard, it makes you accurate. Your compassion does not make you weak, it makes you radiant. Your distance does not make you cold, it makes you safe. You approach new doors with clear eyes. You bring your standards with you like a passport. You let time do the talking that words cannot do. You are no longer available for confusion. You are present only for clarity. You are aligned only with peace. Type Amen to get blessing 6262. Your future expands each time you honor your boundaries. New invitations arrive that fit the architecture of your soul. New friendships bloom where the soil is finally fertile. You pour into your craft with devotion. Hours invested become bridges to rooms that match your promise. The bridge does not wobble because your consistency has weight. You step onto platforms that used to scare you. Your voice carries without strain. Your message reaches who it needs to reach. Every day feels less like survival and more like stewardship. You manage your gifts with care. You manage your time with reverence. Type Amen to get blessing 6464. The person who once smiled and wounded fades into the background of your story. They become a lesson, not a landmark. They become a closed file, not a living chapter. You do not hate them, you outgrew the need to orbit them. You do not seek their apology, you already gave yourself closure. You do not chase a narrative, you build a life. Your eyes lift toward horizons that want you. Your feet carry you to tables where loyalty is normal. Your hands work at tasks that value your capacity. Peace becomes predictable instead of rare. Safety becomes your baseline instead of your prize. Joy becomes your language instead of your visitor. Type Amen to get blessing 6767. You keep walking and the road keeps meeting you. The sky decides to stay clear more often. The wind stops sounding like a warning and starts sounding like a blessing. You laugh in a way that startles you with its fullness. The sound feels like home returning. The echo tells you the house of your life has good acoustics again. You plan modest celebrations that feel exact. A cup of tea shared with the right soul becomes a festival of gratitude. A simple meal prepared with care becomes an altar of relief. Your life no longer negotiates with harm. Your time no longer auditions for approval. Your heart no longer rents space to confusion. Type Amen to get blessing 7007. The next season arrives without trumpets and still feels royal. You wear contentment like linen in summer. You move through rooms like a quiet promise kept. Your steps are slow where slowness serves you. Your steps are swift where swiftness serves you. Your wisdom chooses the tempo. You write a final line under the chapter of hidden tears. Ink dries on a page that will not be reopened. You store the book and keep the lesson. Tonight you sleep without guarding the door in your mind. Morning will not ambush you anymore. Daylight will greet you like an ally who knows your true name.